So what's going on with the speculation online is that Anthony Joshua will challenge Oleksandr Usyk for the second time. The targeted date is June 25. Oleksandr Usyk has managed to get out of Ukraine. Prayers to the people of Ukraine. And he wants to fight Usyk outside of the UK. Speculation is he believes that Usyk will have a huge support inside the UK, more than he will. Because as you guys all know, politically right now, in the West, in Europe, in the United States, people are going to be on Ukraine's side even more than their own country's side right now, if you know what I mean. People are going to be supporting Ukraine at a very high level. So Anthony Joshua, speculation is he wants to leave the UK. He will be going to fight in Saudi Arabia again. He fought Andrew Ruiz in Saudi Arabia, the rematch, and he's looking to fight there again. Speculation is that they've been offered north of over £90 million to face Usyk for the Usyk-Joshua rematch. That's a lot of money, but also I have one question. This is a political question, and I like to keep politics out of this channel, but would it be acceptable if they were offered the same amount of money to go fight in Russia while Russia is illegally occupying the Ukraine? Obviously it would not be politically correct. It wouldn't even be humanely correct, right? I hope we agree on this. So my question is, why should it be politically correct to fight in Saudi Arabia while they also occupy a country illegally? There's huge famine happening in Yemen. Lots of people are dying. Why is there a double standard? I fully support the boycott against fighting in Russia, but I hope the boycott enters other places, even if they are aligned with the West. Illegal occupation needs to stop everywhere. Just my point. So now let's end the political statements and let's go back talking about the fight itself. Usyk, he's going to be obviously motivated to get a huge win for his country. Anthony Joshua is going to be motivated because he probably feels that his career is on the line this time around. And he's probably right. He can't afford to have 3 losses in his last 5 fights and 2 losses back to back. He can't afford that. He was going into only a 2-fight winning streak going into the first Usyk fight, which a lot of people were very, very speculative. I think that's the correct word. They could actually pull it off against Usyk the first time, with only 2 fights coming off the Ruiz loss. Lennox Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, he had 3 years between those losses, and he had several fights before he went in and fought Oliver McCall. Did not fight Oliver McCall immediately after losing. Obviously, when he lost to Hasim Rahman, he had already learned from his mistakes and he managed to beat Hasim Rahman immediately. But when he lost to Oliver McCall the first time, he had 4 fights in between. Against Leon Butler, stopped in the 5th, looked very gun shy. Against Justin Fortin, stopped in the 4th. Against Tommy Morrison, a very boring fight. And then against Ray Mercer. That was his 4th fight before he fought Oliver McCall. When he fought Ray Mercer, he took lots of shots in that fight. A lot of people thought he lost to Ray Mercer, but that's not the point that I'm trying to get to right now. He regained his confidence in his chin in that fight. Then he went in against Oliver McCall 9 months after he beat Ray Mercer. He only had 1 fight in 96. Looking back at it, he had 3 fights in 95. He fought Oliver McCall, was dominating the fight. Oliver McCall seemed to be messed up in the head in that fight, refused to fight back. Then he fought Henry Akinwande, a very disgusting and ugly fight to watch. Henry Akinwande was disqualified for refusing to fight. Then he had, in my opinion, the best performance of his career. Andrew Galata coming off back-to-back disqualification losses against Riddick Bowe. Both fights where he was up big. I think he dropped Riddick Bowe in both of the fights. And Lennox Lewis against a fighter who was deemed as being a 50-50 fight, Andrew Galata. He goes in there and destroys Andrew Galata in 90 seconds. It's highly impressive. absolutely bamboozled Andrew Golota. And he went on to beat Shane Briggs, to beat Mavirach, to beat Evander Holyfield twice. I know official only once, but anyone who's watched both fights knows beat him twice. Then to knock out Michael Grant, a guy who was very, very deemed very high by the media, managed to drop him 3 times in the opening round and then knock him out in the second. Knockout Frank both in 2 rounds. Shout out David Tua from pillar to post. Then he got knocked out by Hasim Rahman. Got back up, beat Hasim Rahman in the rematch, beat Mike Tyson, beat Vitaly Klitschko, retired. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting on about this? You need time. Lennox Lewis, when he gave himself time, a breathing room between the first Alvin McCall fight and the second Alvin McCall fight, it served his character better. Anthony Joshua is going in immediately against Andrew Ruiz. Now he's going in immediately against Oleksandr Usyk. You know why? Because he has a horrible team around him. His team is only a money-grabbing team. Eddie Hearn only looks about the financials about fights. He knows how to make his fighters weak, but he will never overpay. He will never take risks. He said that himself. He said he'll never, even when Filip Hrgovic couldn't get an opponent, he never overpaid any opponent. He never did that, where it's common practice for promoters to do that. They overpay for a fight. If you see this guy's talented enough to capture a heavyweight championship, they would overpay for a fight for him because they know he's good enough to capture a championship later on. Eddie Hearn is not about that. That's why he's been risking Anthony Joshua's career time and time again, and he's going to continue to do this. And he being Anthony Joshua, signed his career completely to Eddie Hearn. Signed a lifetime contract, which was completely stupid, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. Obviously, I'm not the multi-millionaire. I'm not the one that's made hundreds of millions of dollars like Anthony Joshua. Financially speaking, Eddie Hearn took care of his career very well. Not financially speaking, in boxing terms, Eddie Hearn has fucked his career up. I'm just being straight up about it. Eddie Hearn took a guy who had the potential to be an all-time great, the greatest of the era, and made him with the pack, if you know what I mean. He didn't separate him from the pack. That should be the correct term. He did not separate Anthony Joshua from the pack. Tyson Fury is being separated from the pack, and many people, especially Anthony Joshua fans, will say that Tyson Fury has not faced as many top talents as Anthony Joshua. But Tyson Fury fans will hit back at them. But Fury has 2 wins better than anything Joshua has ever done. The Klitschko fight and the second Wilder fight. Both times he faced a guy who was seen to be the number 1 in the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua has yet to do that. He faced them both, dominated them both. The Ring Magazine had Wilder at 1. A lot of people had Wilder at 1, especially after Fury had a horrible performance against Wallin. Joshua got lost against Ruiz. I know he regained it, but he was behind those 2. And then Wilder destroyed Luis Ortiz and Dominic Breazeale. Wilder had the momentum going to the second fight. It seemed like Wilder was destined to win, especially since Tyson Fury dumped his trainer mid-training camp into the Wilder rematch. So a lot of people thought Wilder was going to beat Fury. I predicted Fury to win by knockout late. He won mid-rounds, which I was shocked. I did not think he would be that dominant. I thought he would win, but not that dominant. And Eddie Hearn did not separate Anthony Joshua from the pack. Just my point of view. I think he's always rushed Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony Joshua should have never taken the Andrew Ruiz rematch. Even if you had to take a 3-year hiatus from world level boxing, go fight your Gary Cornishes, go fight your Derek Chisards, your Dominic Breazeales, your Carlos Takams. Go fight those level of fighters. Regain your confidence, work on new shit, and then get back in the ring. It seems like he's been terrified of punishment in the Ruiz fight, in the pull-off fight, and in the Usyk fight. Like the Ruiz rematch, pull-off fight, Usyk first fight. Let's hope he's recovered mentally completely.